Hello everybody, and welcome back to another Pokemon adventure on my channel. We completed Yellow version and we finished the Pokedex, all 151, and man, that was challenging. This next adventure wasn't planned per se. When I downloaded my Yellow ROM, this was also downloaded. So it's Kanto, you're a girl, and it's got Fairy type. So yeah, let's get it. Not to mention it's using Gen 2 graphics, so I like that. We come to the name game and think about a female name and then go, nah, we're gonna play as Dolan. That's how we always play Pokemon. Next, we have to name our rival. And considering our last rival was named Rando Brando after our good friend Brandon Syme, we'll give this rival the name Josh W, in short for Josh Reviews Inks, aka Josh Wasaki, aka the Anime Weeb, aka the Simp of Senpais. This one follows traditional gameplay where essentially you are blue and your rival is green. In Japan, Gary was always supposed to be green, but because America and translations, he was actually named Blue. Weird transitional bullshit. Now, I wasn't really sure what I was going to get into with this game. I wasn't sure if they had changed a bunch of stuff. You saw in the beginning they mentioned inverted mode, but this is like Kanto 1.5. It's got a bunch of Pokemon from future games, and including new type coverage, which is nice because, if you play the new games, the type coverage balance is easier to keep up with. And it's got the Gen 2 graphics, but it's the Gen 1 games, so Gen 1.5. And here Josh challenges us to the obligatory rival battle, but wait, is Bulbasaur's a level ahead of ours? What the hell? Also, here's the reference to my Squirtle's nickname.
Ooh. Who's that Pokemon?
Detective Squirtle!
Detective Squirtle.
That's right, but you all can call me Dick Squirts.
In my free time while I'm editing, I like to watch stupid stuff on YouTube. A lot of the time I find myself watching the dorkly bits. This one's from Pokemon Ralphie, or Pokemon GED, where essentially it makes fun of like a bug catcher who thinks he's Red's rival. It's a long thing, I'm not going to explain it all, but you should check it out. I'll put a link in the description. Like last time, we found a pilfering Pidgey who had tried to steal Oak's mail, because the Master Ball is the most comfy ball to live in. We beat that Pidgey down, get the Master Ball back, give it to Oak, he gives us a Pokédex. I collected the map from our rival sister this time just to see if the region was different, and it wasn't. It's been a long time since I used a Sparrow on my team, so I figured I'd pick him up and I'd use a profane nickname, so let's go with Pecker, because he's a bird and he pecks things. Besides, like I said, I hadn't used him in a while, so why not? Combing through the grass near Viridian, we find amazing, it's a Panchan! So that's from Gen 6, it's a fighting type now, when it evolves it'll be dark and fighting. So, it's a panda, let's name it Express. Damn it, now I really want like a plate from Panda Express with the teriyaki and the orange chicken. Ugh. Josh shows up and he wants a pounding, so we're gonna flip that W into an M when we're done with them. Since this game's a bit harder than a standard game, I don't feel like it's Kazuyo hard, but I just wanted to see where I stood up against the rival with my Pokemon. Like, I'm really digging these Gen 2 graphics though, like they hit. Dick squirting around Viridian Forest, we find a Joltik. And we capture it. I mean, it's a Gen 5 bug Pokemon, and it's also electric, so it's going to fit a dual type, which is great, and with this game being a bit different, plus I've never used one before, so I thought it'd be kind of fun. If you look to the left-hand side of my screen, it's 2:46 AM, and I'm tired, so I couldn't come up with a funny, lewd name. I ended up just going with Sparky, because, electric type. It's been a while since I played the Gen 1 game where I had a team this big before Brock. Here's a quick peek at the team. They're coming along. Oh my god, a Pichu! I would catch it, but I ran a Pichu in Bronze, and I used Pikachu in the Yellow version run, so I'm kinda over the whole family of the Pikachu line. Oh wow, a Shroomish. And yes, I just caught it, but Grass type, Fighting type, Gen 3 and Gen 1? Gotta do it. Okay, I know what you're thinking, I was tired of Pikachu and I caught one. He's in the PC in case I decide to bench Joltik, but let's see how that plays out. We start fighting Brock, and the first thing he does is toss out a Ragnarola, at level 16 at that, so wow. Honestly, this took me more tries than I like to admit. I think I had to grind a couple times, and I want to say it took me about 6 hours to beat him in total. Oh my god, the first gym leader's using a full restore. What the hell did I get myself into? I'm not gonna lie, he had me in the first half. Resetting my team slots and going in knowing his weaknesses now, I plan to take him on mainly with Express. As you can see, I am wiping the floor with his ass. But at the end of the day, this is a Gen 1 game, so, the bind speed lock is still a thing. Oh, and I didn't comment on my nickname for my Shroomish, but I named him Tippy, because, it's just the Tippy. Mushroom Tip. Adult jokes, ha. Damn it! If I didn't have Sparky, I would totally scoop this Mareep. I love Ampharos. We plow our way through that field of amateurs and make our way into Mount Moon. I didn't get the film feed of it, but essentially Dick Squirts did evolve into a Wartortle, I just didn't get to record it. Also, this is the fossil fight, so I can choose one of the two fossils. This game is starting to be a bit trying, as everything is just harder, which again, I don't mind per se a challenge. After winning, we take the Dome Fossil, because last time we mistakenly took the Helix Fossil. In the grass patch, east of Cerulean City, we find Inkay. Sadly, my team is too overleveled to catch this thing by weakening it, so we paralyze it and just chuck a ball, testing our luck. And it worked, so we're gonna name it something provocative. Squirt. Haha, you know, cause like Squid Squirt Ink. Shut up, it's my game. Alright, we check out this collector who does the trade, and he offers a spirit bomb. Holy shit, that's awesome. Oh my god, it's the senpai of Simpsons. Nani? Josh W, and he's got another anime review for us. Listen here, hentai hero, I'm not taking your bullshit. Like always, our rival starts out using sand attack like a fuck stick. It is enough to stop Sparky from knocking out Pidgeotto. We send in Pecker because he's got pretty high speed. Oh, and he evolved, by the way. Wow, he already has a Kadabra. He shouldn't have a Kadabra until the SSN, but okay. We send out Squirt because he's Psychic / Dark type, and Psychic's weak to Dark, so we put down the Kadabra with Squirt. Rattata. You'll be no match for Express's chops and kicks. Last is Ivysaur, and goddamn, level 26. Okay then, time to use Tippy. We're going for the grass fight! And in a shocking turnabout, Tippy takes down the frog. Josh asks us to stop being so hard on him, and Tippy evolved. But now this poses a small issue, as Tippy is a fighting type. Panchan is a fighting type. When Panchan evolves, it becomes dark and fighting. Inky is psychic and dark. It's starting to sound like Panda Express about to be taken off the menu. I slap all the cheeks on the Nugget Bridge. I decide to capture an Abra because I want to try something. I don't want him on my team. I've already got a psychic type, but you guys know from my last video, I was the Glitch Master. Let's drop our speed back down to normal. Carefully sneak up to this asshole, and start button! Alright, let's use Abra to teleport back to the Poke Center. I'm actually thoroughly impressed that the glitch still works, so you'll notice as I teleport away, I'm clicking my start button and it is not working. So now, the next part of the glitch is we have to get into a trainer battle to re-access our menu. So far, I am enjoying this ROM hack. I wish it was a little more different, you know, like I wish they would have changed the map more, but because it's just Kanto, but you know what, the type add-in and the different Pokemon makes it worth it. Now all we gotta do is beat this hiker, and then we should be able to spawn a Pokemon off the last Pokemon we saw special. Also, I feel like I should address this now. I will be changing Dick Squirt's name. He's no longer a Detective Squirtle, so once we get to the name Raider in Lavender Town, I'll give him a better name. We defeat the hiker, and now we go to spawn our Pokemon. I'm like a total dumbass. Instead of walking right to the spawn, I walk right on the grass. I don't know what I'm doing. Venonat. I'm pretty sure that's subpar for a standard blue game. Pretty sure they spawn here. Holy shit, it worked! Are you kidding me? All that for a Pidgey? Went back, reloaded, fought the hiker again, and wow, a Sandshrew. After several more tries, I found a Primeape and decided I don't have time to be doing this glitch, because that's not what this run's about. We find ourselves alone in the Pokemaniac's house and agree to help him, which is now awkward because we're a little girl. Well, we finished Cerulean Cape, it's time to fight Misty. She has the same speech as always, she's a pro water trainer. Holy crap, her first Pokemon's level 26. And the only real grass move we have is Absorb, so we just kind of chip away at her, trying to suck the health away, but you know, she heals. After 20 long painful exchanges, we put Star U down, and holy crap, a Wailmer. At least Wailmer's not dual type, so he's not as durable. And out with a Cloyster, and one Aurora Beam takes us down. Next up is Sparky, and we hit it with a Thunder Wave, slowing its speed, which is imperative. After getting off 2 Screeches with Sparky, we hit it with Express because Ice is weak to Fighting type. The Trek to Vermilion's boring, so I don't bother recording it, but I do find a Drillbur inside Diglett Tunnel where I go to train for a bit, so that's pretty cool. I might consider putting it on my team, so I do catch it. Drillbur is essentially the Diglett of Gen 5, because Gen 5 was a soft reboot of Gen 1. We run into Josh W. after we crush every living soul on the SSN. Considering how hard this game's already been, I'm actually surprised Josh's Pidgeotto is not a Pidgeot by now. We put a nice dent in Pidgeotto's health and switch into Sparky and murder it. We take on the Raticate and we pull the Paralyzed technique. We switch into Express, we take a nasty Hyper Fang, we hit it with a Karate Chop, and then we outspeed it and kill it with Slash. He switches into Kadabra and destroys Express, so now it's back to Sparky for another Paralyzed technique. After 2 Screeches, we take out Kadabra with Tippy, then Tippy goes against Ivysaur and we win that battle too. Josh pops up and tells everybody to subscribe to not only my YouTube, but his as well, because we're both trying to reach the 500 mark. We're given cut as long as we promise to sit in the captain's seat, which is a weird request, but we do it anyway. Alright, so we move on to Lieutenant Surge, and he starts out with a level 33 Voltorb. We start to hit him, and he self-destructs. We switch into Express, he switches into Joltik. This is not a great matchup. We do some damage, but it's no good, he knocks out Express. Alright, Pecker should be, oh god, it was no. I'm realizing at this point we're pretty much fucked. He's gonna wreck our whole team here, and we lose this battle. There's nothing we can do, we're just not high enough of a level. So we have cut, we might as well go and explore. We get the Dream Eater TM from the guy over in Viridian City. We head up to Pewter City and grab the old Amber just because we're killing time at this point and feeling bad about our defeat. We head back to Diglett Tunnel and start grinding because we can find Dugtrio there at level 31, and those are a great experience. Inkay or Squirt evolves into Malamar. At this point, we decide to grind until Dick Squirts evolves into Blastoids because might as well go for his full potential since we're having such trouble beating Lieutenant Surge. At this point, majority of our team's in like the mid-30s, minus Sparky of course, because he wasn't getting a lot of experience in Diglett Cave because he's electric type. Voltorb uses a cheap shot and he self-destructs on Sparky again. This time Express holds his own a little better, but still loses to Joltik. We go in with Pecker, and Joltik takes him out. Ooh, I'm getting worried here. Dick Squirts kills Joltik, but Electabuzz kills him. It's not tippy to combat Electabuzz, and believe it or not, we take him out. Next is the standard Raichu, and believe it or not, even after being paralyzed, we beat it. That was a harder battle than I expected. Honestly, I'm starting to really not enjoy this game so much because it's becoming just a grind fest, and, you know, I enjoy a good challenge, but I don't want to sit here and spend hours on end grinding Pokemon on a game that I've already beaten before, technically. We're getting ready to take on the Rock Tunnel, and we decide to catch a Shellos because if we do decide to bench Dick Squirts, it'd be a really good mix. It's ground and water type. Where the hell were you when I fought Lieutenant Surge? Either way, I'm naming it Snail Trail because, adult jokes. There's not much training we can actually get done outside of Rock Tunnel, so we decide to head inside. Fun fact, so you can teach your Pokemon HM moves and then you can delete them, which I think is a great addition to this game. Also, Express evolved in Rock Tunnel, you just saw that. We reached the name raider and it's time to change Dick Squirt's name because he's no longer Detective Squirtle. No, now he is known as Bert McTurt, which is short for Bert the Turtle, which is a reference to Thank You Scientists EP.
Be sure and remember what Bert the Turtle just did, friends, because every one of us must remember to do the same thing.
The Perils of Time Travel, which is an amazing band and an amazing EP. If you haven't listened to it, I suggest you go check it out. Actually, here, let me give you 10 seconds of eargasm. Honestly, the band slaps pretty hard, and they were signed by Coheed and Cambria originally, which is pretty cute. So, now that Bert McTurt has his own identity, it's time to roll out. Why don't we test our strength against Josh W? You know, I know he's lurking around Lavender Tower. He starts out with Eevee, we paralyze it, which we paralyze and Screech. That seems to be like the way to go here, because once we get a speed ahead of them, we can start knocking down their defenses and just kind of punch them out. Real tactical shit, you know what I'm saying. He switches into Shelter, and surprisingly enough, we outspeed it and kill it. He switches into Lampet, and pretty much this tower is full of Litwick and Lampet instead of the Ghastly Haunter mix, but we're not too worried because all we gotta do is hit it with a couple Psycho Cuts and this thing's going down. Now, sadly, we don't have a Dark type move, or else we would totally wreck Kadabra with one shot, but we put it to sleep and start eating its dreams really, really slowly. Realizing this isn't going to work, we put it back to sleep because he keeps recovering. We send out Express, and we lay it to rest. Yes, pun intended. Josh follows up with his Ivysaur. At level 39, that thing should have been a Venusaur by now. Regardless, Pecker has the edge with flying type, so we take him out. Josh tells us he wants to start a co-op YouTube channel with Brandon Simon, call it Monster Dogs, where it's monster trucks and hot dog based content only. Now, it's been a long time since I played Gen 6, and I thought Floatl was actually the first form, but I think it was actually Flaby? I don't remember, but I'm going to catch both just because I am considering putting a fairy type on my team. So look at that, got them both. Let's pick an offensive yet stupid nickname. When you want to call somebody an offensive flower, you call them a daffodil. So that's what we're going to name this thing. Milling around the grass, we run into a Siglyph. Egyptian-ass bird-looking thing that's psychic and flying type from Generation 5. And while milling around the grass, I'm really starting to notice an issue here. All the Pokemon are like low level. So training up to get ahead is going to be a bitch of a grind. We made it to Celadon City, so we go and we collect the hidden Fly HM, and then we go and cash in our bike voucher just because why not. We hit the Celadon Mart, we bought some fresh water, then we went to the game corner, and oh my god, look what they had for sale. After I give this guy a drink. It's got Gen 2 graphics, as you can see from the screen here, and it's got up to Gen 6 Pokemon. Sparky evolved into Galvantula, and we're going to take on Giovanni, and let me tell you, the amount of times I had to fight this bastard, I really started to feel the difficulty increase around this boss battle. See, my main complaint here with this game is essentially the Pokemon in the wild, their levels fall off. They're like 19 or 20 right now. So to reach this level, you just have to grind non-stop. And I don't mind a grind. I mean, that's what Pokemon's built on, but oh my god. Grinding for hours and hours on end, like, people who can do that have supreme patience, and I just seem to lack that. See, I've been thinking about what I want to play next, and I was going to play Pokemon Prism, but I found out that's an increased difficulty as well. So it's like, do I really want to grind all the way up to Red on Mount Silver for a month? So hopefully I'll stumble across a new ROM to play soon, although I'm kind of getting tired of Gen 1. Maybe I'll do something Gen 2 or even jump to Gen 3. I'll have to get a new emulator, but that's not the end of the world. Here's my next biggest complaint. You saw me fight Giovanni for a second time here, and the levels were different each time. Every time I would level up, his Pokemon would be a few levels ahead of mine. With Giovanni's defeat, though, we can pick up the Sylph Scope and move on to Lavender Tower, which has Litwicks. These things are awesome. I'm catching one, but it's probably not going to go on the team. This is still Gen 1, so it's a rinse and repeat of Team Rocket holding down Mr. Fuji on top of the tower, so I'm going to skip all that if we beat the Marowak and just go straight to getting the Pokemon Flute. Once we collect the Pokeflute, we stream right over to Big Chungus himself, aka Snorlax, and we take him on. I really lost the resolve to beat this game, though, after dealing with Giovanni and having to train for like days on end. Which kind of explains why this video took so long, because usually I was getting them out week by week. But there wasn't as much content to cover, considering I wasn't doing the Pokédex, and this is a harder version of the game. Oh, I caught a Trapinch, you know, that's cute. I'm in the Safari Zone at this point. You see I'm picking up the HM3 here. And after realizing the grind it would take to put somebody new on my team, I kind of decided to stick with the team after adding Snap, even if he is a weakling. So at this point, I've decided to take on Erica. I couldn't even stand up to the trainers in Koga's gym in Fuchsia City, so, I mean, look how high her victory bell is. It's almost level 50. This is the 4th gym badge. So at this point, to take on the gym leaders, I'm going to have to use super effective Pokemon, and that's going to be my saving grace. Although we're not too far apart here level-wise. And honestly, this game has made it so I don't know if I ever want to play another increased difficulty ROM again, because the time I spent beating these trainers and grinding just didn't really feel worth it. Like, I mean, I know I complained in Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu when there was no grinding at all, but only grinding? Like, that's just not my bag, man. We screw the Strength HM, and then we go meet our rival Josh W inside Silphco for another over-level battle. That's like the entire theme of this game, is just like over-leveled battles, you being the underdog, and oh, let's tie one of your arms behind your back because you can't use items in trainer battles. Should have changed the title of this game from Pokemon Blue XD Deluxe to Pokemon Blue XD for Cucks. And Pokemon for me is more of like a mindless getaway. The fact that I have to put so much effort and strategy into beating these dickheads just really doesn't fucking do it for me, even if I do like Gen 2 graphics. The worst part is I only have 4 badges, and like I'm getting ready to fight Giovanni again, and I know for a fact this is gonna be a grind. We hand Josh W an L, which is ironic because his last name starts with W, and that's what he's not getting. Because I just didn't get past his asshole. It's time for another tussle with him, and he's like 20 levels higher than before. We started out with Snap, and he gave it his best foot forward, but he was under-leveled, so he bit the dust. So we switch into Squirt, and we start using the Sleep technique, which has really been one of my staples, and you're going to see it a lot more as we go farther on in these battles. After we toss Cacturne in the old Hot Cosby special, we switch into Tippy. Sadly, Cacturne wakes up, but that's okay, because he's Dark type, and fighting trumps Dark. Then we knock out Exact Drill, which, God, I hate that thing. He switches in Tyrantrum, and then he kicks my ass. But that's okay. Tippy put up a good fight. We're back to Squirt, and we Psycho Cut our way through the extinct dinosaur. He sends out a pincer, and it wrecks our team's entire shit, as you can see. We tried, but we could not beat the asshole. Here's me testing a Shiny Ball. I've had a few of these for a while, and I didn't know what to do with them, so I wanted to see if it made the Pokemon shiny. Because I take shortcuts and out of desperation, I tried to spawn a level 1 Pokemon using the Aber glitch. My hopes were that I could use the negative XP glitch, but with all best of my ability, I was unable to. This one had me sore because look, ooh, it's a Charizard! And I couldn't get to level 1, and I couldn't get the XP glitch, so fuck. After dicking around for this for about, I don't know, an hour and a half, I realized that it didn't matter what I did, because I'm not gonna be able to glitch, so fuck it. Oh look, a level 1 Blastoise, lol, doesn't matter, still can't get the glitch to pop off, so my only other option here is to actually grind up again, grinding, and then fight Giovanni. So after like, I don't know, 90-something tries, we finally get this run. Snap heads out, gets his shit pushed back in, and we're back to Squirt. We'll use the Sleep technique because that seems to be the only way to do things here. We beat that bitch-ass Gen 5 Dragon, and it's on to Cacturne. We put it to sleep and switch into Tippy because Tippy's a fighting type. 2 punches take it out. Exact Drill comes out, we hit it with a Drain Punch, it does the Sword Dance, and Tippy gives it the suck. Tyrantrum comes out to play, but Tippy ain't no one's bitch, so after 2 Drain Punches he drops down until Pinsir fucks us up real good. Now it's on to Pecker. Pecker is a bird type, so, you know, birds beat bugs, that's all you need to know. Now Nidoqueen's out to play, but that's okay, because Burt McTurk's a water type, and he knows Hydro Pump, so suck it, ground type. Well, 4 badges in and we got a Master Ball, so I only did Silphco for training.
8 weeks later.
So maybe not that long, but I mean, God, an eternity it feels like. Beating this game. Once again, it comes down to the perfect run. How many times do I have to fight Koga? Well, you would need about 20 pairs of hands to freaking count it. I hate this guy. But granted, of course, once you close the 20 level gap, he is fightable. Now, on a positive note, I can admire the fact that each trainer's team is made up of more than just a singular typing. I mean, yes, they have the typing that they're based around, but they also have, like, dual types. Like, you just saw Tentacruel. That was awesome. So props to the maker on the team building. So, yes, that's Articuno. No, I did not have to go through the Seafoam Islands, but because I trained in them last time to complete the Dex in Yellow version, I knew the puzzle pretty quick, so I was like, let me just go see if I can hit this Articuno with a shiny ball, because, why not? And very much like every other goddamn battle in this game, this was not a first try kind of deal, so this was the best run before I finally captured it. Huh, totally didn't kill it, 7th try is the charm, got it, don't care enough, shiny Articuno. Haha. I should have posted that to the gram. Oh yeah, and Snap evolved. He's got 2 heads now. So now it's on to fight Blaine. We start with Burt McTurt. Ninetales burns us with Will-O-Wisp. We start spamming Hydro Pump and take out 3 of his team members. We use Surf on Flareon because we're worried that we might miss a Hydro Pump. A second Surf puts it down. He sends out Magnetar, we hit it with a Hydro Pump, and then he destroys us. But that's okay, because Pecker knows Drill Run, which is a ground type. And we win. While we're on Cinnabar, we decide to stop by the lab and drop our fossils off. We choose the Sail Fossil and we come back later, just like he says.
6.5 hours later.
From here, we wake up from our long nap, we come and get our Pokemon at Cinnamara, and now we're going to drop off our other fossil because we need space in the bag. Once again, we got to come back later, so let's go do that.
Later.
We come back later and pick up our last fossil Pokemon so we can move our adventure along. Next on our roster to fight is Sabrina, so let's dump these Pokemon in the PC and then take our happy asses over to Saffron City. So, here we are with Sabrina. I fought her like 45 times before I got this run. We take down Cyglyph with Sparky, then we knock out Mr. Mime with Sparky. Malamar can be dangerous, but we took him out with 1 hit. Jinx makes her way to the field and we switch into Squirt because we cannot risk losing Sparky, who is weak to Ice, against Jinx. Malamar's Dark type, so we were able to take out Jinx with some Night Slashes, and here we are to Espeon, and woo! Hit us down to 1 HP and then pulls a bitch recover move, but now it's just a test of endurance. I've out Night Slashed it, and now we're on to Alakazam, who is the boss of this team. Lucky for us, Sabrina just spams recover until she loses. And now for Giovanni.
12 seconds later.
So this is my 3rd time fighting him, but my 100th battle or so against him. Honestly, I only had to fight him maybe 3 or 4 times before I actually took him out. I mean, primarily between Tippy, Burt McTurt, and Squirt, we pretty much wreck his team's entire shit. Just watch and see. Tippy practically one-shot Exactadrill. We switch into Squirt to deal with Gastrodon because of that damn type advantage. We put it down with a couple Psycho Cuts. Now we're into Sandslash and we switch into Burt McTurt because we have the advantage. Even after being hit by a Sand Attack, we hit with Hydro Pump. We do another Hydro Pump, it almost kills Nidoqueen. Another Hydro Pump does not kill her. She Earthquakes us, but we finish her with Surf. And that's with our accuracy down. Flygon's one tough son of a bitch, let me tell you. Even after a Hydro Pump, he still took out Burt McTurt. Tippy goes in and we cannot make use of that ground type disadvantage. We send in Pecker and take advantage of our Fly HM because Fly protects us for 1 turn while we're in the sky, and we take it out with a double team. Now it's on to Rhyperior, and he slaps our shit. That's not going to stop us though, because Squirt knows how to put people to sleep, so we're just going to spam the shit out of that while Giovanni spams his max potions. After a couple Psycho Cuts, we win and we have all 8 gym badges. Finally. And then there's this fuckboy. Josh W wants to tussle, and after beating down every fucking gym leader in the region, I said, why not? We send out Snap, who's still lagging behind about 10 levels. He sends out Umbreon. We switch into Tippy because fighting is weak to dark types, so we're gonna, He sends out Exactadrill, we're like, okay, cool, we'll knock it out, and he fissures me. God damn it. That's okay, we follow it with Burt McTurt, give it a Hyper Beam, and now we're gonna use Flash Cannon, which does nothing against that Clitoister. In true Josh W fashion, he keeps spamming Supersonic to confuse me, kinda like how he confuses me in real life when he talks about multiple animes he may or may not have jerked off to. Through some switch tactics, we were able to take down the Clitoister, and then he sings out Lampet, but that's okay, because Pecker knows how to take it down with a Drill Run. Alakazam comes out, takes us down to 1 HP, and he starts the recover process, so we take advantage of his weakness and we kill it. Last but not least is Venusaur, and I don't know why it put us to sleep at 1 HP, but no big deal, we got Pecker, we're gonna take it out because grass is weak to flying. Take that, Josh W! I'll save you the pain of watching me fight through Victory Road. That guy told me Josh W was through there, great. He was probably already the Pokemon Master. Snap finally evolved, but god, it took forever. I kept grinding my team, but every time I went to check on my progress against Elite Four, they were always higher than me, so at that point I said, fuck it, let's go. Lorelei starts things off with a Mammothswine, which, ground and ice type. This is going to be great. So we go in with Tippy, and we take advantage of the fact that ground's weak to fighting type. For this run to work, Tippy needs to get anywhere from 2 to 3 sword dances off, so he's strong enough to one-shot most of her team. And luckily, Vacuum Wave is like a type-specific quick attack, so it always goes first, so, there's that plus. Lapras knocks Tippy out, so we send in Sparky to finish the job, which, not bad, Tippy. You took down an entire team by yourself. You're not worthless after all. Next up is Bruno, and he's primarily fighting type, but he starts things off with a Steelix, so we're going to go straight in with Tippy. Steelix starts with Rock Polish, which raises his speed, so since he's not attacking, we start using Sword Dance, because if we can get our attack high enough, we can bowl over anything. I mean, look, one more Sword Dance and that Mega Kick would have totally decimated that Poliwrath. Heracross powers up and takes us out with a type-effective Mega Horn, so we switch into Pecker. We almost kill it. Look at that sliver of health. Luckily, the submission gives recoil damage, so we switch into Squirt and realize that, hey, Pangaru's not going to go down by that, so we switch into Sparky because Dark is weak to Bug type. This Panda's a bad bitch, so we switch into Burt McTurp, and we're going to try to muscle it down at this point. We take it out, and out comes Hitmonlee, and we hit it with a Hydro Pump, and that's just enough. Last but not least is Machamp. We put a dent in it with Burt McTurp, and we send out Squirt to finish it with a Psycho Cut, and that is 2 of 5 down. Next up is Agatha, the Ghost/Poison type user, so, yeah, that'll be fun. We take a moment to heal up, as I question my life choices again about spending so much goddamn time on this game. I got so bored with this when I started playing my next adventure for my next series, as well as playing Pokemon Sword, which I had never played before. I only beat Shield. Anyway, let's get back to Agatha and the fight. I put Golurk to sleep so I could start stacking double teams on Snap, because even though he has the type advantage being dark, it'd be nice to not be touched by Crobat here. Which, let's face it, if one of those X-Scissors touched me, I'd be dead meat. She sends out Chandelier, but let's not forget we got the Crunch-a-Bunch attack, and that's enough to take it down. We start just trying to knock out Umbreon with Body Slam, but it becomes more of a dick measuring match here, as you'll see. Umbreon, baby, listen, I love you. You're one of my favorite evolutions, but if you don't get the fuck out of my way, I will end you! After a way longer fight than needed, Snap finally puts down the Moon Pup. Out comes Spirit Bomb. That thing looks sick as fuck, but is dangerous. Luckily, we took it down with a bite. Before I can even finish this commentary, we're done with Agatha and on to Lance. Would you believe me if I told you the farther I progressed into Elite Four, the less attempts I needed at beating each of the trainers? I think, honestly, Lorelei took me the most out of all of them. I want to say Lance only took me 4 or 5, but, you know, I did spam the same kind of technique. All in all, there's one thing that this game taught me. It's actually how important it is to be able to use items in battle, because, like, it's tying one arm behind your back and trying to win a one-handed fist fight. Shit's not fun, bro. It's not cash money. And if it wasn't for stat-boosting moves like Double Team and Sword Dance, I don't know if I would have beat this challenge. I really don't. Since there's only one challenge left, I want to say once again, props. All the teams are balanced well, including Lance's. They were actual dragons. And now it's time to fight the salty senpai, the anime annihilator, the hentai hero, Josh Wysocki, aka Josh of Inks. Same deal as before. We put him to sleep and we buff up with Tippy. As the kids would say, we want to go plus ultra by hitting the ceiling here. So we're going to do as many sword dances as we can until nothing happened. And then we start wrecking shit. He sends out Mr. Big Boss with a mustache sauce himself, Alakazam. We paralyze it, hit him with one bug move, and then he knocks out Sparky. We send in Snap and take advantage of the fact that he's weak to Dark type. And then there's Exactadrill. You gonna fisher me again, asshole? Didn't think so. One Hydro Pump puts him down. This goddamn clam is breaking my entire team. I cannot believe I'm getting wrecked by a shellfish. If you personally knew who Josh W. was, then you'd see the irony in this entire battle. But that's okay, because Squirt's here to fuck shit up. This was a close one. I really want to say put us against the wall. I mean, look how high that Venusaur is. Like, my god. But that doesn't matter, because type advantage is a bitch. So that concludes Pokemon XD for Cucks. I'm sorry, I mean Pokemon XD Deluxe. I thought about going after Mewtwo, but honestly, I just don't fucking care enough. You guys know what Mewtwo looks like. You want to see it? I'm sure it's on YouTube. Join me next week as I take on Pokemon Dark Energy.